the Prime Minister Keir Starmer to relook and renew the relationship with India. And that journey started a year and a half ago when Keir Starmer, as then the leader of the opposition, inaugurated our India Global Forum annual UK-India Week in June at the QE2 Centre, where he pressed the reset button between the relationship between Labour and India. And as a result of that, you've seen that when coming into power, within a matter of, I think, a few days, the Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, who spoke again earlier this year at IGF, made a visit to India to set the tone for what will hopefully be a very energizing and refreshing and very deep and meaningful relationship going forward. And that purpose is the purpose of what IGF stands for, and through the UK-India Future Forum that was launched a couple of years ago, we look to drive deep and meaningful relationships that are outcome-driven. And this afternoon, I know that many of you in this room participated in 4 very important roundtables on quantum, on biosecurity and pandemic preparedness, which is supported by the Serum Institute, reforming governance, which is supported through technology, supported by Infosys, and there's room for others of it as well within those conversations, so I couldn't help it. As well as that, we've had a whole series of activities across the week. But, friends, today is a celebration. It is a celebration, as I said, for new beginnings, and what better time than to have with us somebody who has been a friend of India Global Forum. Last year, she attended as the Shadow Secretary of State, Lester West's most famous daughter as well, and now the Secretary of State for the Department of Work and Pensions, Liz Kendall.
A time of wondrous light and joy and music and dancing and colour and light, with all the symbolism that brings. A time when people right across our city from many different faiths and those with no faith at all come together to celebrate what we have in common, not what divides us. And I, for one, think we need more moments like that across our country and indeed across the world. So for me, Diwali really always is a very, very special time. And tonight, and this Diwali with a new government, it really is a new beginning. And I think I have one really just simple, clear message for all of you here tonight, which is that our changed Labour Party and this new Labour government believes and knows the relationship between India and the UK really, really matters. It's what Keir Starmer said during UK-India Week last year. It's why our manifesto pledged to forge a new strategic partnership with India. And it's why David Lammy, our Foreign Secretary, chose to visit India within his first 3 weeks in office, as Manoj said. And it's why I'm here tonight. Well, it's also because Manoj is fantastic and it's a great event and lots of fun, but it's because I want to celebrate Diwali and the extraordinary links between our two great nations.
The same reason that Keir Starmer, as leader of the opposition, has been such a big supporter of the India Global Forum and now champions it as our Prime Minister. The same reason that the Foreign Secretary departed for India days after taking office. The UK-India relationship is one of our most important relationships. It is deep and it's historic, and the bonds of friendship and family between our two countries run deep, as I see in my constituency, the London Borough of Redbridge, a community that's been shaped by the Indian diaspora and plays an enormous role in our borough in terms of our political leadership, in terms of our economy, our public services, and our culture.
Diwali, as we all know, is a festival of lights. Inherent in this festival of lights are the principles of trust, partnership, prosperity, peace, and community. In India, Diwali is celebrated by one and all, cutting across regions and faiths. I am particularly happy to note how, through the festival of Diwali, the British Indian community is contributing towards making the UK more diverse and more inclusive. As we celebrate Diwali, it is an opportune moment to reflect on the remarkable resilience and growth of the Indian economy. Despite global uncertainties, India continues to be a beacon of global growth with opportunities for partnership in critical and emerging technologies, innovation, renewables, and green growth and infrastructure, just to name a few. I was really delighted to hear in the presentation of both the ministers the key focus on technology and innovation. And also thanks to Professor Ladwa for highlighting this aspect of our relations. I feel that technology, innovation, research could be the defining aspect of India-UK relations as we go forward.
But if you're hoping for a diplomatic incident, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I intend to disappoint. Because the reason I've always said yes to these invitations, the reason I'm so very pleased to join you at this slightly early but nevertheless incredibly important Diwali event this evening, is because I recognise the importance of the Anglo-Indian relationship. My very first trip to India was shortly after I was appointed as Foreign Secretary. I had the opportunity to go to Mumbai. So my first trip to India was to Mumbai rather than Delhi, even though it was a government trip. And the energy, the buzz, the noise, the spectacle of Mumbai hooked me from day one. I found myself, like so many of my predecessors, addicted to India, recognizing the huge repository of energy, of talent, of ideas. And I understood from day one that India has so many opportunities that the UK should facilitate and collaborate and work with. And whilst I have no doubt that it is in India's interest to maintain a strong working relationship with the UK, it is in the UK's interest to ensure that we have a strong working relationship with India. And there was a point in our respective histories where the balance of a relationship might have been skewed in one direction. But today, it is obvious to me that the balance of the relationship is very much in India's favour. India will be a success. I have no doubt about that at all. It is in the UK's interest to make sure that we share India's success. We have a long pre-existing relationship. We have that living bridge. We have diaspora communities in both directions who are eager for our governments and our businesses to do more together. This is what this organisation is about. This is what this evening is about. This is why I am delighted to be here this evening. And this is why you should know that in me, you will always have a close friend and partner. And this is why, whilst I have breath in my body, I will keep working to make sure that British business and British government and Indian business and Indian government work closely together for our mutual benefit, because that is the only sensible way forward. Ladies and gentlemen,